Hello, Snowiest. Today is Wednesday, August 7th. It's about noon and we're in West Yellowstone. And we are getting ready to head out towards Mount Two Top. We're going to take the Two Top loop out, maybe circle around the Lion's Head, come back in another route. But this should be awfully familiar to anybody who ever comes to West Yellowstone in the middle of summer. That's the old airport. This is where most people start off their snowmobiling adventures. And our goal today is going to be get out there and do a little exploring. Something that might be fun today. We look down the road that takes us out to Two Tops, right out of West Yellowstone. If I pan to the right just a little bit, you're gonna see a whole pile of white tents. And that's because we just happened to come during the Mountain Man Rendezvous. So we might take a little tour out there at some point today and see what all the Mountain Man guys are doing. One of the fun things that happens in West Yellowstone during the summer. But otherwise, our goal to go right out that trail, out the Big Springs Two Top Loop Trail, and make our way up onto the top of the mountain today. We've been there once before this summer, but we're going to go back again and see it from a different perspective. Heading out of the main trail coming out of West Yellowstone. Again, this ought to be just wildly familiar for anyone who's ever come to West and gone snowmobiling. Let's go in the other direction. So I came out and they're doing some major resurfacing of the dirt trails. You wouldn't think it'd be necessary, but it's a lovely addition, and they've also blazed the trail going out to Highway 20. I saw that water truck coming. I thought I'd get out of his way for just a second, make his life easier. That watering truck just came by now. I gotta admit, maybe this is how millionaires live, but if you can come out and go ATV riding and call in a watering truck so there's no dirt, no dust at all on your trail, that's pretty sweet. But meanwhile, they have resurfaced the main trail going out of West, and it's pretty smooth and pretty nice. Didn't know that that was something that actually needed to be done up here. I'm sure not going to complain about it any. We come to Junction 13, little snowy trail on the right, Two Top Loop on the left, Lionhead Trail on the left. We're going to head out towards the left, continue down where this grader is, and we'll go see what's going on down that road. There's our first big landmark, the bridge. Looks a lot more friendly in the summertime. I remember in the winter, this gets a little bumpy right in here. Oh, look how pretty that is. Some super beautiful riding area. Arrived at Junction 14, and this is where we can take the diversion and head over to Lionhead. And I'm going to go to Lionhead, we'll do the loop, and then we'll come back, and then we'll hop back on the Two Top Loop. Just making our way along the access trail to get back to Highway 20 before we start on the actual Lion's Head Loop Trail today. Oh, there's our first vista. Isn't that gorgeous? Holy cow. Back onto the dusty trail, baby. There's mile marker number 3 on the access trail. Moving right along. Beautiful, beautiful country. All right, so I've come back up the little access trail that we went down on mistake, and I'm at Junction number 8. And I can go left, which is the way we came up, back to West Yellowstone, or we can go this way to Two Top. We're gonna go ahead and go to Two Top now. And along this trail will be the turn off over to Lion's Head, I suspect. I just turned off way too soon. So I've come to a unmarked trail. It's 50 inches wide, so we can go in there, but I have no idea what trail it is. I have to admit, I'm really curious. Since I have no real agenda today other than get to the top of the mountain, I'm inclined to go down the trail just to find out what it is. I'm just like that. The whole purpose of these summer videos is to go explore, so I'm gonna go explore. Probably gonna take me back out to Highway 20, but who cares? I can soak up this beauty all freaking day long, man. It is just so incredibly beautiful back here. Well, I have no idea just yet what trail this is. This is a really nice trail. I really enjoyed it. I've got paper maps, and I've got a digital GPS with me. And I got the iPhone. I got 3 different digital maps on that. So I've got tons of ways to find out. But frankly, I just don't want to know. I'm not here to explore. This is really half the fun. It's beautiful. It makes it more interesting because you don't know where you're going. And the worst case, I just turn around and come back. You know, I'm not really worried about it. It's not like we're deep in the wilderness, all things considered. West Yellowstone's on one side, Highway 20's on another side, Island Park's on the third side. This trail is going to kick me out somewhere, and I'll know wherever that somewhere is soon enough. But meanwhile, I'm having a really good ride. And it's always nice to have the narrow, restricted trails where the bigger side-by-sides can't come along, come blast. And there's been a lot more side-by-sides on the on the West Yellowstone side of the mountain than on the Island Park side. Well, this little trail is lovely to say the least, but it just keeps going and going. I'm getting more and more curious as to where it's going to kick me out at the end of the trail. Man, what a beautiful ride it is. Completely empty, just me. Me, the trail, the trees, streams. Gosh, look at the sky, it's just blue, white puffy clouds. What a great day to be out. Oh, look at that, how lovely. Gosh. I haven't got a clue where I am, but it sure is nice. Nope, nothing on these signs. Oh my gosh, completely lost in West Yellowstone somewhere. Loving every minute of it. Oh, that is just magnificent. I've come across the first sign, which is showing the East Fork Denny Creek Trail 140 and the Continental Divide Trail 116. So this is clearly a hiking trail, but that's the first hint of where we are, what we're near at least. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've been on an adventure. It's fun going somewhere I've never been before. It's really very, very enjoyable. And I have never come down this trail in the wintertime. I've gone by it, oh my gosh, many, many times. But I've never turned and driven the sled through the little gate. Well, I made it to Junction 10, telling me exactly what I know where Two Top Trail is and where West Yellowstone is, but still no idea. Oh, coming to a gate. Something's up ahead, hang on. Maybe we're about to find out where we are. Gate and a parking lot. It looks a little narrower on this side than it did on the other. Hey, what do we got here? Ah, so we've been on the lower Buttermilk Trail. No problem. Well, now we know where we are. What's out here? Take a quick look. That's going to be Highway 20, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I know exactly. There's a KOA campground. I know precisely where I am. Oh, that's fun. All right, we're going to head back in and go a little bit higher up the trail. And we'll do a little backtracking back to the Two Top Trail one more time. All right, we're back to the original point where we turned off. Come up here and make a quick U-turn. So that was our second diversion of the day, down what turned out to be Buttermilk Trail. Now we'll head on back up towards Two Top. Still having an awful lot of fun. So there is a main gate on the Two Top Trail. I didn't even realize that. I guess it's always been open when I've come up here during the winter time. Trail 484. So hiking, horses, bicycles, motorcycles, ATVs, but no cars. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen the gate closed. How cool. Once again, 50 inches. We fit through there with ease. And we're back on the trail. Oh, gosh, it's so beautiful. I know I'm going to say that over and over again, but it really, truly is. And it smells fabulous. I just got to say, this is a really fun trail. I'm having a particularly good time going up this trail on this ATV. I wouldn't call it challenging by any means, but it's so beautiful. And it's constantly forcing you to turn and navigate loads and loads of ups and downs and little curves here and curves there. Uh-oh. Here we go again. What is this? Two-top loop. Or something. There's a lake trail. Alright, let's go backwards a little. I want to see what that sign says. I'm curious. Another trail I've never gone up before in the wintertime. Summer OHV route, dead end half mile. Oh, sure, what the heck, man? Everybody up for another diversion? Must be awfully short to only be a half a mile. Let's see, where does this go? Oh, there's our first view back at West Yellowstone. Probably see it when we turn around at the dead end. Be getting pretty close to the end now. Oh, hello. Maybe this goes up to a beautiful overlook. Okay, so this is the longest half a mile I can remember ever being on. I think we just crossed into Idaho. Okay, so what do we got here? No summer motorized travel beyond this point. Okay, so there is a trail and it keeps going, but we're not supposed to go down. Clearly that is not something that is well abided by, for lack of a better term, but I'm trying not to be that guy. Oh, my key came off of me. Put that back on. I'm one of those strange guys that rides with a bungee cord in the summertime. I'm not sure how that came off. Obviously there's another big trail going there, but hey, we're in Idaho and there's our first bump on the trail. Oh goodness. I rail on Idaho a little bit. It's so funny, the feel between Idaho and Montana has been very different on the trails. All right, we'll head back down to the main loop trail now. So coming back on that little trail, and I knew we were coming to a big vista point, so I thought I'd stop for just a second. Looking into Yellowstone National Park. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, so we're right at the Continental Divide. We're at 7,733 feet high. Well, that's cool. Well, interesting little piece of trivia. And there's another hiking trail, but again, this is covered in dirt bikes. Yeah, all kinds of motorcycles going up there. No motor vehicles, and nobody's paying attention to the rules. But I'll be a good pirate. It'd be just too easy to get smacked by the Forest Service if I went off any of the trails I'm not supposed to be on. Kind of a high profile guy, you know. One more overlook and I think we plunge right back down into the trees again. Oh, that is just beautiful though, isn't it? Goodness. Such lovely country out here. All right, coming back to the Two Top Loop Trail, and we'll turn back onto the main trail here and continue on our merry way. Scenery's changing a little bit. It's gotten a lot less rocky and softer dirt, more beautiful green trees. This place has got to be just a kick in the pants though, after it's rained. If you like mud, I mean, if you don't like mud, you probably wouldn't have fun, but this I think would probably be a wildly fun place to come and ride after a good soaky rain. And we had our first I guess not our first. I've gone by 4 side-by-sides on this trail so far today. The trail widened out here for just a second, and yep, another drop-dead gorgeous vista. Turn the engine off for just a second. Just look at that. It has been incredibly beautiful coming up this little side trail rather than using one of the big main trails. Really nice. And I don't think I've taken this sled trail in the wintertime either. I think this is the first time I've ever been on this trail. Thoroughly enjoying it. We'll get this baby back going again. Back on our way. You get tired of the views? I know I don't. I absolutely love seeing this. There's the new airport. Gosh. Another big, beautiful alpine meadow here. Ah, a couple of snow poles. Looks like the trail goes a slightly different direction in the wintertime. Oh, look at that meadow. That's got to be some fun place to ride. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a great little trail. Really, genuinely a fun trail. You can see anything like this on the Island Park side at all. Everything on the IP side has been, you know, truck, car compatible. This is far more entertaining riding. Now we're getting up towards the top of the mountain. We're almost there. I should start to recognize where we are now. I would think most of the snowmobilers watching this video could have a pretty good idea of where I am right now. Boy, does it look different in the summertime. Starting to recognize it now? And there we are. At the sign. Certainly something everybody should recognize completely. And some wonderful, wonderful meadows. Oh, look at the view though. Goodness. Alright, we're going to head up to the top. Maybe this time there won't be 40, 50 mile an hour winds like there were a couple of weeks ago. We'll see if we get lucky. Oh, view. God. I hit that rock a little harder than I wanted to. Old quad's taking a licking, keeps on ticking. I'm impressed. No shortage of wind though. I think we're going to get blown off the top again, just like we did a few weeks ago. All we can do is try. There's a couple of ruts. Almost up to the top. And we have a little company. We have a lot of company. There's several people up here today. And it's every bit as windy as it ever is. We made it up to the top of the mountain, and it is every bit as windy and crazy as it was a couple of weeks ago. So up on the top of Mount Two Top, looking back towards Yellowstone National Park, Yellowstone's new airport right there, and then of course the town of West Yellowstone there. Let's see if we can pull in just a little bit tighter so you can see it. There we go. There's our lovely town of West Yellowstone over there. Gateway to Yellowstone National Park. If I flip around the other direction, the noise is probably going to pick up wildly as we go over the top of the ridge. There's my trusty stallion today. And we can look back over Henry's Flats. The reservoir. One of these days we're going to get up to 40, 50 mile an hour winds. So it's a little blustery. I'm guessing we're probably not going to do very well with the sound because there's just so much wind coming, but I can try. It's been a really super fun ride coming up here. 3 major trail diversions so far. We're at the summit. I'm going to head back down and I'm going to keep looking for more diversions. So far, the first thing that really stands out today is that West Yellowstone has far more fun trails for ATVs than Island Park does. I think that's going to be the case as we keep exploring in Montana. I hope that's the case. I'm having a real good time. I did not find what I was looking for in the way of Lionhead, but I'm going to go back and we'll keep looking. That may have been that trail that I saw right across the street when we came into Buttermilk. It's entirely possible that's the access to Lionhead, but I didn't take the time to look. All right, we're going to make our way back off the peak. I'm going to keep coming up here over and over again because I'm trying to find one day when it's not crazy windy and I get the drone up. I want that summer shot. But this much wind in my little drone, I think I'm over capacity. I'm not sure I'd even want to try it to fly at 35 miles an hour, even though it's rated for it. I'm afraid I would lose my little friend, and I don't want to do that. So we'll make our way back down off the mountain, and as I am growing ever fonder of saying, we're going to continue on our adventure. Thought I'd stop for just a moment before we come off of Two Tops, just to look at that view. Just how beautiful that is. There's a trail far out there. Somewhere there's open. One more place we need to go explore. But just look at that. Isn't that just spectacular? Found some good trails today, and during the winter, pretty much everything from that airport in West Yellowstone, this direction, is open for snowmobiling. And most of that, everything we see now in front of us, most, not all, is open for sledding. We do eventually run into Yellowstone National Park, and you got to be careful of the boundary, but the further you go to the right, the more it's completely open and you're into Island Park. Just a lovely day. A little hazy, few clouds, plenty of wind up here on top, but drop dead gorgeous, man. Drop dead gorgeous. Just a note to myself. As we came up that trail, there was a point where it became real recognizable, I think, to all the snowmobilers. But as we look back off of Two Tops, going back towards West Yellowstone, in the wintertime, we come right down the middle of that little valley, and we go up right along the edge of that little clearing there. And some of you probably dropped down and played, and there's big meadows back there to play in. But in the summertime, the trail goes somewhere entirely different. And I'm really curious, is there any way on the ATV or the UTV to get down in there on that original trail? I wanted to go explore some of that area, but I never saw an option to get in there, nor did I see a spot where the two trails converged. So I need to figure out if there is a way to get on the snowmobile trail, or if that is a sled-only winter trail. I don't see what looks like anything clear going through the valley. It's hard to imagine it's not there. I just have to do a little more exploring. Shame. All right, so it's only 2:46. I still got a full tank of gas, and I still got 5 hours of sunshine. I'm going to go backwards on this trail just a little bit and see if I can find that interface for where the sled trail diverges from the ATV trail. We've got more than enough time to do a little bit of exploring, and I really am curious if the snowmobile trail follows an entirely different path or if there is a way to get down to that valley in the summertime, because I sure would like to be able to see that. We'll go do a little hunting for a minute. All right, well, I did a little side excursion. Didn't find the answer I'm looking to. I'll have to go pull up Google Earth and look at some of the aerials. So we're heading back across, the side of Two Top, headed into Idaho now. Just enjoying the ride. So we're going on the descent now. We're off the top of the mountain, coming back into that section of just beautiful, beautiful trees. In the wintertime, by far and away, this is the whitest, snowiest spot on the whole mountain. I've commented before, I don't really know why, but oftentimes you'll see just stunning photos out of this little quarter mile of the trail right here, where it's just amazingly beautiful. Oh, the traffic. There's a nice sharp corner for you. Too sharp for the ATV. That may be the corner that defines the reason why we have 50-inch limits. Sure is pretty up here. And back to a 50-inch gate. Away we go. All right, we're coming to the end of the Two Top down segment. Coming back into that main junction. We were here a couple of weeks ago. We're going to head towards the west now. Watched the previous episode, you may remember this little intersection. It's one of the only places with a bathroom, and it's where the new short line trail comes to an end. Remember that? And for reference points on those of you with a map, we're at Junction 19. We're going to turn and go this way now. Begin making our way down to West Yellowstone. Such a lovely little valley. Oh my gosh. Can't say enough about that in the wintertime. Such a fun place to ride. On a good snow day, it's hard to beat. Haven't ridden on that side before. So as I've been riding down this main trail heading back to west, I've noticed that there's a lot of road improvement going on. They've graded this road, and there are hundreds of trees that they've knocked down along the edges to open this trail up and widen it. I mean, you can look at the quality of it. It's almost, no, it's not even almost. It's a road. And it's a really smooth, flat road. As I saw at the beginning of the day, not only had they graded it, but they had brought in fill dirt. Maybe that's coming up this way as well. But I've been seeing this all the way from that junction at the bottom of Two Top, all the way back to West Yellowstone. So I'm thinking at the very least, when it comes wintertime, this is going to be a really beautiful highway quality trail this year. They've smoothed it out and widened it, just made it very, very pleasant to ride down. Once again, probably a pretty familiar sight to anybody who's ridden their sled in the middle of winter out at West Yellowstone. We're on the river trail section now. Not quite as white and icy as you see it in the wintertime. Quite lovely. Somewhere up here, I think we intersect with the new short line trail. Not 100% positive, but I do think the two come together at some point up ahead. All right, there's the short. I think that's the short line trail right up there, across the river up on the top. I thought we crossed each other, but maybe these two trails just parallel. Maybe awfully hard to see through these trees. I'm not sure. Couldn't get the camera on as fast as I wanted to. So there's something you don't see terribly often. Usually the snowmobiles can go anywhere. So what's down here that there's no sleds allowed? Just a closed road? Yep, apparently so. I have to do a little research and find out what that road is. I have no idea. I'm curious to know though. Why it has a no sled sign on it. Yet there's no vehicles of any sort, I suppose. No worries, a little bit more research to do. Got smoked out by the little Can-Am there a minute ago. Get back on the trail here. Out of luck. Yeah. Might be a little bit high for this big boy. Must be access only for the chosen few. Alright, I'm pretty sure we have made the loop now. We're back at Junction 16. Nope, I am wrong. Excuse me. That is one of the trails that is sled only, Mosquito Loop. Alright. Okay, notice a little dust? We have not completed the loop yet. Back to the trail. And the road just turned back to fresh gravel. I must be getting close to one of the spots where we were earlier this morning. This is a major improvement. I wonder why they're spending all the money. There's no private property, no housing or anything up there. Just snowmobile trails. Somebody's investing some serious money into upgrading this trail. Mind you, I'm not complaining at all. This is as nice gets. But I'm more than just a little bit surprised by it. Certainly for snowmobilers, it won't make a darn bit of difference. I don't think for the ATVers it makes any difference either. It's just very nice to have. Wow, look at the view up there. All right, now I think we're back to where we began. We've actually made the loop back at Junction 14. Hang a right and we will head back into West Yellowstone. Now it's interesting. In the wintertime, by the time we get to this section here, we're coming back on a little bridge going into West. You're tired, you're cold. You know, it's been a long day on the mountain. You've been doing some hard riding. And yet here it is today in the middle of summer, and it's like just as nice could be. It's such a different feeling. What was that? Hang on. Curious. Junction of the short line trail. Okay, so somewhere back there is where the short line must begin. I thought these two trails came together at some point, but I think they're just a little bit apart. I really do want to come back up here with my bike and do that trail. Just a long 2-hour drive to get up here for probably it's a 30-minute trail. But again, that contrast between summer and winter is just so striking. It's actually kind of fun to come off a two-top, you know. Mind you, we're not able to do as much as we can in the wintertime, but it was still a really fun drive, really fun day. It was great to come home and not be chilled or cold or tired at all. Me and this trusty ATV of mine, having a good time. We're about a mile out of West Yellowstone right now. Now you can see there's the short line trail right there. So on and off this main trail does parallel that new short line trail. That'll be a lot of fun to come back. Go do a little exploring on. Now I think we can turn here, and this should take us over to the Mountain Man Rendezvous, I think. I want to go drop in on that. It's been probably a decade since I dropped in on the Mountain Man Rendezvous. I used to be a Boy Scout leader many years ago, a Scoutmaster. And that was something I took my boys to on a semi-regular basis, so we'll go pop up here and check it out. And there's the Mountain Man Rendezvous. If you're into reenactments, then this is kind of a fun place. They usually have a ton of stuff for sale. That's really the signature. All the paraphernalia for doing rendezvous get-togethers is here for sale. We will pop in and go walk around. I don't think I can take my ATV in there. We'll go take a look real quick. Park her right here for a second and walk in. Go take a look around. So we made it to the Mountain Man Rendezvous and we're stop in and take a look, since this is one of those kind of unique West Yellowstone events every summer. Clothing and leather goods and old cookware, swords, knives, hatchets, trinkets, accessories of pretty much every manner. Things for the little kids, things for the adults. Some of the, we got a live one here. We're gonna stop in and go say hello.
Just to do it naturally. Hang on.
There we go. This is the kind of stuff you can find when you come and visit West Yellowstone, Montana. We have a few characters out here.
Just a few. I'm called Papa Weasel.
Outstanding. Thanks so much, Papa. Yep. So there's lots of color in West Yellowstone. You know, it's fun when you come across somebody who's just having a good time. That's what this is all about.
I rode over there and talked to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
More beadwork.
Bring them back whenever you bring them back.
Yeah. That looks suspiciously like a pirate to me.
that
That could be one of our fellow brethren. Look at that. That's freaking fabulous. Yep. There's definitely some pirate vibe going on here. Mountain pirates. That's our favorite kind.
Get me in there. I charge modeling fee.
Oh, wow. Look at this. He's a good looking model. So we definitely have a pirate. He's a Florida rendezvouser. And he came out to join, but you can't beat the pirate hat. Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm great. And that's the basic loop. We come around, looks like we got a little food shop. A couple of goodies. And back to the ATV. There's your free taste of the Mountain Man Rendezvous in West Yellowstone, Montana. Something I've come to many times over the last decade and a half. It's really quite a lot of fun, especially when I brought all the boys. The Boy Scouts would always have a big old time with this. It's just a fun thing to do with the boys when you come out here. And some people are as passionate about mountain manning as we are about snowmobiling and ATVing. Now we'll head on into West Yellowstone. So we did the walk around once. You know, there's probably 25 tents, maybe 30 tents set up here. And while it's very quiet now, it definitely does not stay this way. There are moments where it gets very busy and very interesting here. But we'll turn and we'll head back over to West. You can see the red truck, and we're just about done with today's drive. All right, we're back to the original scene of the crime. Cross over here. And get ready to load the ATV back on the trailer. Hey, Snowiest. So, we finished the ride, and now for the after-action report. What did I learn? Well, number one, the trails, at least for riding an ATV, on the West Yellowstone side of the mountain are significantly more fun, more enjoyable than on the Island Park side. On the Island Park side, so far, and there may be more to discover, but so far it's all been roads, and roads that are clearly open to cars. On this side, we found some really fun trails that are strictly ATV side by side. Number two, traffic. There's a whole lot more people on the West Yellowstone side than on the IP side, or at least there were today, and today's Wednesday in the middle of the week. Many side by sides. Blazing along. I saw 2 ATVs and no single tracks at all for the whole day. 3, it's drop dead gorgeous. I just still absolutely love coming out here. It is every bit as much fun in the summer as it is in the winter. And I'm going up a trail that I've been up many times, and yet there's significant portions of it that were completely unknown to me. I mean, it's very clear to me now, after the fact, that the ATV trail follows the snowmobile trail and then leaves the snowmobile trail and then follows the snowmobile trail again. It goes back and forth. And if you're coming up here for the first time, you're going to have a lot of fun. I found 3 diversions that I went off on. I think we got to the edge of Lionhead, but because I didn't want to bother with taking the map out and verify, I just turned around and went back. I'll come up here and do Lionhead proper. We need to come up and do the South Plateau Trail as well. I hope that that's open in the summertime, but I'll be back up to West either way for a couple of more rides. All in all, great day, guys. You know, I mean, it was really fun at the end to come to the Mountain Man Rendezvous. It's not something you're going to see all the time. It's only here for a week or so in the middle of summer, but that was a really good time. I had a great time. I continue to really enjoy coming up here and riding the areas that we've been riding on snowmobile, but doing it on ATVs.